Today we're going to offer you lesson number 3, Comprehension, understanding how life works. This lesson offers an opening to the comprehension of exactly how life works and why it works the way it works. This is a lesson of astonishing revelations. It includes a striking and deeply insightful explanation of the journey of the soul from the realm of the absolute to the realm of the relative, as we discussed in the last lesson, and finally ending up in the realm of pure being. Included in this lesson will be a thought-igniting exploration of the mechanics of the mind and the system of the soul, the difference between the current self and the eternal self, and how to bridge the gap. This lesson also answers the question, is it possible that there's something we don't fully understand about God and about life, the understanding of which would change everything? Not an unimportant question. When we have concluded this lesson, my hope is that you will clearly understand what is meant by the often heard phrase, you create your own reality. The mechanics of the mind will unfold in a step-by-step process that reveals exactly how your moment-to-moment reality is created by you specifically for the moments in your own life. Also, you'll discover how to utilize the system of the soul, which is the approach that the soul uses to confront the data brought to the mind in the daily living of your life on the earth. You'll also learn how to bridge the gap between the mind and the soul, as well as how to identify the soul's wisdom as differentiated from the mind's data. I want you to be able to develop the ability to change arbitrarily, quickly, and easily the thoughts and emotions that have been driving the previous experiences of your life. I want to show you how to enlarge the database from which your mind draws its conclusions about what you should do next in your life, based on what has been happening to you in this moment as well as the past, and expanding that information to include the wisdom of the soul as well as the prior data of the mind. Now, don't be surprised if when this is all over, you have a sudden, abrupt, and expansive awareness of how much control you actually have over the creation of your own reality and the deeper and richer understanding than ever before of how your mind has been controlling and directing your life without the benefit of your soul's wisdom. I also hope you'll experience a startling, almost explosive comprehension of how easy it is to change the thoughts and emotions that have produced many of your prior day-to-day experiences. The power that comes from this information is immeasurable. So let's begin. I want to start by discussing the mechanics of the mind and what is meant by the phrase, you create your own reality. So listen very carefully. This information could change your life. I always wanted to say, is going to change your life. There are two things in life that we experience on a daily basis. I'm going to call these things events and reality. There are the events of our life and the reality that we live in with regard to those events. Now, most people think that their reality emerges from their events, that the events produce their reality. But that, in fact, is not true. What I've come to tell you today, as we explain how life works, is that the events of your life have nothing to do with your reality. Whoa, what a statement. Did you hear that? The events of my life have nothing to do with my reality? That's correct. That's correct. And let me prove it to you. Let's call the event rain. Okay? Let's say that it's raining outside. Let's use two other people. Let's get out of our own skin for a minute here. Just observe two other people. The event is called a sudden thunderstorm that goes on for 8 hours. An 8-hour thunderstorm. That's the event. Person A experiences that event in a reality of joy and gladness. Oh, says the farmer, my crops are going to make it after all. The drought has ended. My crops, the harvest is going to come in. Oh, yes, thank you for the rain. What a glorious day this is. And that's his reality of the thing called 8-hour thunderstorm. On the other hand, person B happens to be the parade organizer for his town. He's watching the thunderstorm overhead. He hears the forecast, 8 hours of thunder showers. Are you kidding me? Are you telling me that 6 months of work has gone down the drain, literally down the drain at the end of the street in the thunderstorm? Of all the days, we've had a drought for 7 months, and today, the day of the parade, it couldn't have waited till tomorrow? The same event, rain, two different realities. Now, you might say, oh, Neil, you're just playing around with words. I mean, obviously, the two people have two different experiences of the same event. Well, that's exactly right. That's the point I'm making. That's exactly right. So what I want you to see here, as we explore deeply how life works, is that the events of your life have nothing to do directly with your reality. But it's the experience that you have of the event that creates your reality. Are we agreed? Good. So, it's as simple as that, right? Actually, no. Because if you're a thinking person, you have to ask, what creates my experience of that reality? What creates my experience of that event, I should have said. What creates that experience of that event? Because a thinking person would want to know, okay, person A has this experience, person E has this experience, person B has that experience, person F has that experience. What creates that experience? I need to know that if I'm to know how my reality is being created. So I want to share with you that what God said to me was, Neil, your experience of the event is being created by the emotions, by the emotion that you have surrounding the event. It's your emotion that creates your experience. So for instance, in the example we used, the farmer's emotion was joy and elation, relief. His crops are going to make it. The emotion that the parade organizer had was frustration and anger at the universe, at the weather, for ruining his parade that he had been planning for 6 months.